Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee and Memes, here live, as it happens, as it's taking place on Threshold.fm, and it's been a week, and what a week. Who'd have thought last Wednesday that, oh boy, Marilyn Manson, abuser, multiple abuser. Who would have thought? Whoever could have seen this coming? If only there were some warning signs. If only he could have told us somehow that he was into some dark shit. You know, if only he seemed like such a placid, benign, meek fellow that only wanted to stroke kittens, go for long walks on the beach, wear thick woolen jumpers, drink cocoa from a mug with two hands. Bring me some Nazi memorabilia. There's no way you can untie yourself. You're not going to leave for another year. Who would have thought? It really does boggle the mind. You know, and there he was in Bowling for Columbine. So erudite, so eloquent, so measured, so intelligent, such an orator. You know, all right, fine. He doesn't want school shootings. Okay, fine. Maybe Hitler didn't want school shootings. I guess it depends on the school. But he doesn't want school shootings. Fine. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have his spare room set up like a mini Abu Ghraib. So I guess it swings and roundabouts, isn't it, with Brian Manson. So someone sent me a message. It's like, "Oh, first cancellation of the year is in. Marilyn Manson's being cancelled." It's like, well, look, I think there's a bit of a spectrum going there, really, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't say Harvey Weinstein got cancelled. No, he was put in prison for raping people. Like, well, you know, you look at the allegations of old Marilyn. Oh, I'm being cancelled. Yeah, they're pretty spicy. It's not like, oh, he sent me a dick pic in 2008, or, you know, he said I had a nice pair of jugs at the office party. You know, they're the things, you know, that when you're talking about getting cancelled, it's a little bit like, yeah, well, you know, the text messages that I sent to a female colleague that wasn't that up for it have sort of been posted on Reddit, and now they've laid me off, you know, and, you know, whatever. Cancelled, yeah? You know, like, well, you've tweeted that men can't get pregnant. Cancelled, you know, just raping people. Slightly different matter, isn't it? But nevertheless, what are the due process, you know, innocent until proven guilty. You know, not guilty until proven innocent in the court of Twitter, in the court of the gram. Hey, you know, what they say in the UFC to when they're looking at people that they think might be on the roids. What does Rogan call it? The sniff test. Does he pass the sniff test? You know, does he look like he's on roids? Yeah. Does Marilyn Manson look like the sort of person that would tie people up and abuse them? Well, I know you can't convict purely on what people look like. Otherwise, you know, Jimmy Budd would be in prison for running a pedo ring. You know, you can't convict purely on looks. You know, otherwise, you know, the Build would be in prison for running a Ponzi scheme. But hey, We motor on. It's been an interesting fucking week. I'm thinking of shorting GameStop. Now would be the perfect time. It's had its peak. It's on its way back down. Surely the only place for it to go is further down. Perfect time to short. And right, so I know some people in the Discord have got Wodge has got some. I think perhaps Shorty Simpson's got a few bits. Maybe even I think Jimmy Budd's got some AMC stock that he is holding the line with. But if anyone has got any GameStop stock that I can borrow off them for a few days, let your boy know. DM me on Discord. I'll give it back. Give it back in a couple of days. Same amount that you gave me. Give me 3 or 4 of your GameStops. Give them back to you in a few days. No worries. Don't worry. You can trust Uncle Ranks. Yeah? Can you? Maybe you can. Other bits. Just other general bits. Oh, fuck. I had a whole plan for the start of the show. Oh, God. Doesn't matter. We must ask ourselves the important questions. We must ask ourselves questions that we may never get the answer to. You know, the questions that trouble everybody's mind, you know, that we will probably go to our graves not getting an answer for because the powers that be, the Illuminati, the globalists, you know, the elite, won't allow us into the inner circle. But we must ask the questions even so. What information did Captain Tom have on the Clintons? You know, the man had been around a long time. The man had seen war. You know, man had seen suffering. Man had very recently dipped his toe into the inner circle. You know, 1 minute you're walking around your garden, next minute, Piers Morgan's giving you a little slap on the back. Yeah, you're in the green room at This Morning. You know, you're into the inner sanctum. You're beyond the velvet rope. You start to pry away the layers of the onion, looking closer and closer. Willoughby mentions a little Schofield, little whisper in your ear. Oh, you start to realise how things really work. And before you know it, you're on an island. You're on a Caribbean island, jetting off for Christmas. Did he go to Barbados? Did he go to Little St. James? You know, was he privy to human sacrifice? Did he witness Hillary Clinton eating a baby? You know, did he witness Big Billy Clinton, just spit roasting? I mean, on the fire. Either way, roasting a baby and then dining upon its infant flesh. Maybe he saw too much. Maybe he was about to let a few secrets slip, and then, oopsie, he suicided himself from COVID. Well, God rest his soul. Anyhow, an inspiration to the nation. I was wondering how they were going to play it. You know, he's 100 years old. You know, he's out and about. He's gone to fucking Barbados for Christmas. Yeah, I mean, look, God love him. He's gone out in, you know, in a fine way, in a blaze of glory. Should we be putting 100-year-old people on planes and flying them off to the other side of the world in the midst of a global pandemic? It's called a travel corridor. Fuck off. I don't know. I mean, you know, he's you know, he had died with more money than God. Why can't he go off to Barbados, you know, and sleep with a bunch of, you know, questionably aged, you know, brasses? But why not? Let the old man have his eat his pudding, you know? Let the old boy eat his fucking sponge pudding, yeah? I'm not saying... Look, listen, yeah? Fuck. I'm glad there's no one else in there. Listen, I'm not saying that he's gone over there as some sort of seedy sex tourist. I am not saying that. Do you hear me saying? Yes, you hear me saying it, but I am not saying it. That's the illusion here. The illusion is that even though you hear the words coming out of my mouth that Captain Tom went to Barbados as an elderly sex tourist, That is not what I'm saying. You know, I'm saying God bless him. Thank you for his contribution to not only the NHS, but also the general morale of the country. You know, I thank him for his service. You know, they should immortalise his Zimmer frame in the Museum of Natural History. Maybe have it gold plated. Put a fucking dome over it. Yeah, put a dome over it. Stick it in a museum. But what are they going to do now? I mean, they're going to have to immortalise him in some way or other. He's been given every award it's possible to get. They might have to start making up awards. Maybe they can embalm him and, I don't know, put him in some sort of tomb like they did with Lenin. Get him in a fucking, I don't know, cover him in bronze or something and, I don't know, stand him up in Trafalgar Square and people can go and worship, go and kiss its feet, you know, when it is safe to do so. Sad times. God rest his soul. R.I.P. in peace. What did he know about the death of Harambe? I'm just asking questions. In the words of QAnon moms, just asking questions, you know. Anyway, God rest his soul. This generation's Diana. God love him. Anyway, the show is entitled Coffee and Memes. I'm Will. Hello, good morning. Here is the intro.
Steady job and a couple extra potatoes. That's all I want.
You're getting on. You're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
Oh, I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee Memes on Threshold.fm. My name is High Rankin. You may remember me from the one with the dubstep and the cats. Last night, I was recording a mix, a DJ mix. Remember them? And I got the opportunity to record it in the new Trickstar studio. Oh, mama. Twitty has somehow managed to blag from Function 1 these two like stage monitors that are about the size of a Mini Cooper each. They're fucking enormous. Ridiculous. In a room that is about, I don't know, 25 square meters at the most. And wild. Absolutely wild. Like being in a nightclub. Like being downstairs at the Volks. Albeit with even better sound. Well, the sound system downstairs at the Volks is traditionally a little rough, but with very good sound. So I was in there on my own, last night recording a mix for 100 proof crew. Anyway, some good lads in America that are doing a big live stream, and they're like, "Come on, do you want to do a fucking, play some fucking records and that, fucking make it worth your fucking while, mate. What's your dress? I'll send you around Deliveroo. What do you want? Taco Bell? Yeah, send you a fucking bell round on the road. Yeah. So I've broken my vow to not do pre-recorded live streams because I said, give me a couple of quid. It's the long and the short of it, isn't it? Everyone has a price, and mine is pretty low. Nevertheless, in Twitty's ridiculous fucking Death Star studio, God damn. I mean, I haven't mixed records in, well, yeah, at least a year. It was nice. Reminded me of the olden days. Reminded me of a simpler time. And Jesus, I mean, it makes me sound like a boomer, like 1.5 loud. I mean, I chose the volume. Oh, my ears were ringing at the end of it. Like, all right, Boomer Bill. There's fancy lights in there. It's all painted black. So it's a little bit like being in a sort of Gitmo cell. particularly with the music I play, I wouldn't be surprised if they use a lot of those records in Guantanamo Bay for fucking torturing the mooge, you know. And the way the sort of lights are, you can't really see beyond the desk, and that it's all black behind anyway. So it's sort of a little bit like, you know, being on stage where you got all the lights facing you, so you can't really see the crowd. I mean, generally I can't really see the crowd at my shows because there isn't a crowd. There's maybe a sound tech, friends of the bar staff, promoters, moody misses, and then just me clanging the nine. But you know, I got to use my imagination last night. So, you know, dropping a few jams and just imagining that it was a full crowd there. Imagining that it was a few hot babes. It was exclusively hot babes. Buxom, big-breasted beauties. Page 3 stunners, all in bikinis. Yeah, just lined up. Yeah, just grooving to the funky tunes. Yeah, just vibing. Just writhing around. Just smearing themselves over each other like bacteria under a microscope. Ooh, just giving it again. Ooh, ranking. Ooh, play meow meow. Play meow meow ranking. And I'm like, I ain't got it, babe. I ain't fucking played that tune out in 10 years, babe. I ain't fucking got it. Play the one about the boat shoes. Play the one about John T's boat shoes. I ain't got that one neither, babe. I don't play that sort of shit at the moment, mate. I play fucking generic Neurofunk, babe, and a couple of old classics. That's what I fucking play. That's how much effort I put in these fucking days, babe. Ranking. Oh, play the Professor Green remix. It's the only good thing you ever made. So, hi, babe. I might have that one, but I ain't gonna fucking play it. Oh, let us honk you, Johnson, babe. Oh, Rankin. Let us honk. Let us honk your earthing rod. Oh, babe, fucking ever fucking go on it, babe. Oh, that's fucking good, babe. Oh, babe, that's babe. Oh, fucking babe, if you fucking hell, babe, if you keep fucking sucking it like that, babe, I'm gonna fucking jizz. There was no one there. It was just me alone in a room with some very loud drum and bass. But it went off a good break from the monotony and otherwise sort of miserable existence. Just go and play a few records and just imagine that I was somewhere else. Imagine that I was someone else. Someone good. Anyway, World Health Organization doesn't rule out COVID came from a lab as they find data never seen before. Shock horror! Who'd have thunk it? Marilyn Manson, an abuser? The coronavirus may have come from a lab? Who'd have thunk it? Oh no, it came from the bat stroke, pangolin stroke, bat stroke, wet market thingamy-bob. Well, it didn't come from that lab 500 metres away where they test on coronaviruses and have an appalling safety record. What are you talking about? No way. Are you insane? Are you some kind of far-right conspiracy theorist? Well, I'm just saying it might be worth having a look. What are you, some kind of QAnon whack job to assume that the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where they test on test on coronaviruses? No way. Absolutely not. What do you mean you're accusing that fellow of murder, the one covered in blood, standing there with a smoking gun in his hand? I don't think so. Yeah, that's no way. It's the guy over there waving at us? Not a chance. The team at the World Health Organization. I mean, what I'm slightly more baffled by here is that, I mean, okay, so China are like, World Health Organization are like, oh, China, they want us to come and have a look. So I'm like, well, why? The rest of the world won't shut up about it. They just want to know where it came from. Can we just get this over with? No, you can't come in. Just let it in. We won't look at the lab. Just let us in. Please, come on, let's just get this over with. All right. Yeah, all right, come on. Come and have a look at the wet market. Come on, over here. All right, well, we haven't really found anything that... Can we have a look at it? have a little look at the lab. No, you can't see the lab. The lab's closed. What do you mean it's closed? Coronavirus. We're on limited hours. We should probably look. Probably should have a look. I know. A team at the World Health Organization investigating the origins of COVID-19, so they're not ruling out the possibility that the deadly virus had escaped from a lab. What a bunch of far-right QAnon whack jobs. The experts have already revealed that they're getting data which no one has seen before, adding that they are really getting somewhere. I mean, is there any chance in reality that they go, yeah, came from the lab, all China's fault? Like, China are never going to let them do that. Like, there's not, even if they found a proper smoking gun, like, there is no way that the Chinese government are going to allow them to just go, yeah, they did it. It was them. Yeah. Those boys over there. Get them, lads. It's just not going to happen, is it? Speaking to Sky News, Dr. Peter Datsik, speaking to Sky News, former dubstep DJ Datsik, part of the ongoing World Health Organization mission, said, we are seeing new information, and it's good. It's very valuable stuff that is beginning to help us look at the right directions for the virus. Don't worry, I'll be back doing shows soon. Thank you to all the support from my fans. He then explained how the team are getting valuable information from places such as the Hunan seafood market after tests confirmed the outbreak did start there. Right, okay. Dr. Dazak went on, we are in the market looking around on our own and asking questions. We are meeting with market managers and vendors who work there and people from the community and asking them questions. We are talking to the people who collected samples from the floor of the market and that then tested positive. That's the sort of information we are getting with the person that really matters. Okay. And the experts as the experts conduct the research, Dr. Datsik explained that they're picking up little clues in the wealth of data. He continued, Chinese scientists are sharing data with us that we have not seen before, that no one has seen before. They are talking with us openly about every possible pathway. Okay, this sounds like they're saying it under duress. The Chinese are being they really are incredible hosts. They're known, for being accommodating hosts, and they really are opening all the doors. They really are showing us behind all the curtains. They are not allowing us to leave any stone unturned. Okay, the gun you're forcing into my back is starting to hurt now. We really are getting somewhere, and I think every member of the team would say that. Anyway, that's the news. That I don't really understand. The headline here doesn't really match the content of the article. Lab Bible, but what are you going to do? Guys, listen, beekeepers, Brexit, it's all kicking off. It's probably worth having a little honk on any new releases, though. I'll tell you that. Is there anything? I've not heard any good drum and bass, any good new drum and bass in it all. I'm being honest. I'm just asking questions. New Zero T, My World Forever. We'll give it a whirl. See what happens. Johnny Anderton. I think I can probably get that mix up into the app after it's been broadcast. I try and see what, not in that lake. bit of gear. That's a nice bit of gear, man. That's Zero T. Thank you, Zero T. You always know how to come through. God bless him, Zero T. Always there when you need him. Once broke down on the M25, actually, middle of the night on the way back from a gig in Birmingham. Tyre blew, and I didn't have a spare because it's just the way I used to live my life. And anyway, Zero T just happened to be passing. He actually runs a recovery service. This is what he does. I mean, he doesn't charge money for it. You know, he's just bought himself with his own money. Just bought himself a recovery van. You know, all the gear and that. He's got the outfit and everything. A sort of day glow orange kind of outfit and that, or hat. Just says T on it. It's cute. Kind of looks a little bit like sort of Mario. And he just pulled out. I was on the hard shoulder. Phone had run out of batteries. I was in a real mess. You know, he pulls up and where's he from? He's Irish, isn't he? I think. Is he Irish? Is he from Dublin? I don't know. Anyway, it's like, oh, you man, like, what's fucking? I reckon you fucking dubstep prick. What are you doing outside the road, man? I was like, T, mate, you're alive. What you doing here? It's like, I'm fucking running the recovery thing and that link. I was like, fucking hell, I didn't realise you had... no, it's not a job, man. It's my fucking hobby, I guess you see a fella. I was like, right, you just I just drive around the M25 and that, like, so I'll get me inspiration for me choppages and all of that. And I was like, cheers, dude. Like, that's great. He towed me all the way home. Yeah, it's nice. So, you know, I sat up front with him. You know, he's got a little sort of little rig. Little DAT machine, kind of little rig system, playing me some of his new dubs. Nice bits, actually. Nice bits of gear, you know. Drops us home, you know, and he had like sandwiches and stuff in there that I guess his wife had made for him or something, and you know, cheese and pickle. He gave me one of those. Like, you had some pickle and that cheese sandwich, and that wife's made us. Like, do you want half? I was like, don't be like that, man. I'd be fucking offended if you don't take one. So I had one. Delicious, like nice, like thick, you know, like a bloomer or something, like white bloomer, and thickly sliced. She knows how to make. Look, I'm not stereotyping here. I'm not making sort of like, you know, outdated gender stereotypes. But fucking hell, she know how to make sarnie. You know what I mean? He gave me a cig. You know, it was just nice, really lovely experience. Actually, I mean, like I know I was in a rough spot, broken down the car, but ultimately, like I'm glad for the experience. You know, I could have got home, you know, a couple of hours sooner had I not broken down, but I wouldn't have, you know, been picked up by T. Anyway, Frenchman. Got a couple of stories about the French here. Really giving the sort of two sides of the coin of the French. Yeah. The French are great. They're a little bit like the Italians. No one cares if you're racist towards them. Like South Africans as well. White South Africans. No one gives a fuck what you say about white South Africans. Australians also. You know, in the same way, no one gives a fuck what you say about the Americans or the Brits. It's fine. Whatever. Who cares? What's Rita Ora done now? Oh, God. Government slammed for letting Rita Ora into Australia ahead of 40,000 stranded Aussies. Rita Ora, I was discussing this the other day with our missus. with our Hayley. She is like, you know how she speaks. She's like, that's fucking Rita Ora. What's the appeal? Like, fucking voice is like whatever. She's not like a gifted dancer. I don't know. I couldn't pick her out of an identity breakdown. I don't get it. I agree. I don't really understand quite what the appeal is. Maybe it's because it's it's not for me. It's not. I'm not the target demographic. I'm not like she's not advertising her records on Stack Overflow. So I don't really or the QAnon subreddits. So I guess I just don't. They sort of pass me by. But she keeps doing stuff that is winding people up. Like, didn't she do a video and it was all like breaking COVID rules or something? Now watch. Now she's gone to Australia and she's skipped the queue in front of 40,000 stranded Aussies. Fucking 40,000 stranded Aussies all in unison. Oh, mate! Rita, mate! You sexual terrorist, mate. Is it true you fucked Jay-Z, mate? Is that true? You're an absolute disgrace, Rita. Rita? You're a fucking disgrace, mate. Frenchman gives brutal review of Greg's menu. Great. Brilliant. I mean, I don't like Greg's, but I also don't like the French. So, I suddenly become protective of Greg's. Because as much as it's bollocks, it's our bollocks, You would think. Dominic Smithers here. Christ, I haven't read a Smithers article in too long, You would think, given the regard with which it is held by fans in the UK, that Greg's baked snacks would be universally adored. I mean, why wouldn't they? Sadly, I don't know how this is news. Sadly, Frenchman Nicolas Henry did not agree. He recently tried some of the chain's finest delicacies for the first time and described them as revolting. The 29-year-old, who lives in Derry, was introduced to the popular high street bakery by his friend Leclerc Le Messier, having avoided it for nearly 3 years of living there. So Leclerc forked out $5.59 on a sausage roll and a sausage bean and cheese melt. Oh, sausage bean and cheese melt. Not as good as the Christmas slice. Turkey, sage, a bit of cranberry. But it's all right. For his breakfast on Saturday morning, 30th of January. Good to get a timeline here. An hour after the snack arrived, Lake recently received a lengthy review from Nicholas, who didn't hold back on his feelings. His critique read, I know British people are sometimes described as explorers, as pioneers. And I have to admit that Greg's managed to do something groundbreaking with their sausage roll. The saucisson roll. As I chewed and swallowed, I simply could not understand how something could taste so bland and yet so revolting at the same time. You fucking French can talk. Oh yeah, French known for their incredibly spicy, sour, and wild flavored cuisine. French cuisine is the most bland food in the world. Amazing. The crust tastes like cardboard that was passed through a food blender and then compressed into a puff. Pastry. The sausage is all over the place. Sometimes it feels like mushy gelatin. Sometimes it's spicy. Yes, a depth and range of flavors and textures. However, he found room to admit to a grudging degree of respect for the sausage roll, adding, Yet I chewed through it and bite after bite, I could see its intrinsic value. Things didn't get didn't get any better as he moved on to the sausage baked bean and cheese melt, which Nicholas said he simply couldn't eat, as it reminded him of disgusting food that made him cry back in school. I would weep. My school years when the cook Jean-Michel Pierre Le Tutti would serve up, the most bland, tepid, turgid slop. I would weep. I would cry all night. I would say Jean-Pierre Michel Gauthier. Oh, Jean-Michel Baptiste. You made me cry. You are a bastard. You are a big dog. But despite the deeply unpleasant experience, Nicholas carried on to the bitter end and eventually came to understand why Greggs is so important to the Brits. He went on, I don't want to sound like an ungrateful bitch, but this one I just couldn't. I enjoyed the moment. I enjoyed that like you ordered me a breakfast today. Who does he sound like? I sounds like I don't know if you've ever seen Carl Dunningham, a comedian, does he does a lot of like sort of comedy sketches on Instagram with a sort of like that app. I can't remember what it's called, but you can put like a celebrity's face over your face. It's quite crude, so it's not like a proper sort of deep fake level, but he does Sylvester Stallone, and he does a whole show with Kurt Metzger on YouTube. At home with Stallone. That's sort of what this Frenchman is starting to sound like. It's starting to sound like a very strange impression of Sylvester Stallone. Cobra talk. I enjoyed that like ordered me a breakfast today, Saturday, and a rough hangover. I got to experience a true British moment. And I now appreciate why some guys in the morning go, do you know what, mate? I could really go for some fucking sausage roll now. It sounds a bit like Watch. That's what Greggs is. It's like a nice neighbor who comes round and sits on your face. Hey, well, a beautiful, thick-thighed neighbor with a pristine, wiped butthole who will come round at the drop of a hat and sit on your face. He sits there quietly when you need him as a fella to fill you up after a rough night. He will be there for you. He will be beautiful. He will be romantic, passionate. The way he works is pristine, unbleached, but all into your nose. Speaking today, 2nd of February, Nicholas said he's glad to have finally experienced the British rite of passage. What are there pictures of this chick? Good-looking girl. I mean, he does look a typical French man, just sort of ugly and hideously sort of misshapen in the face department. But, it is what it is. It's fine. Whatever. I'm not angry. I'm not surprised. I'm nothing. I'm callously indifferent. I'm nonplussed. Anyway, and then the other side of the coin, orgy involving 81 people raided by police for breaking COVID rules. Police in France broke up an orgy involving 81 people for breaching COVID rules. Officers raided a warehouse in Golygien on the outskirts of Paris last Friday, 29th of January, and were confronted by dozens of people in attendance. According to reports, cops arrived at the scene around 9 p.m. and found 11 people in the car park, each of who were fined. Each of who were fined €135 for breaking the major curfew, which restricts movement between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. in a number of the country's major cities. That's a sucky-ass curfew. After being given the legal permission to enter the premises at 11 p.m, officers went in and found a huge number of people taking part in a large-scale orgy. Local magistrates sat in an emergency session and gave the police powers to confiscate penises and vaginas alike. Powers to confiscate sound and lighting systems, along with any alcohol they found. What is this? Is this just like parents getting home to find a load of teenagers having a party? Right, that's it. We're taking all the booze. Give me your sound system. Give me your sound system. We're taking the booze away from you. You can't be trusted. You're all grounded. Speaking about the raid, one of the investigators said, "There isn't a breach of the curfew. And there are also problems with masks and social distancing. Can you social distance with a cock in your mouth?" Which is a fair question, really. Can you social distance if you have one in the front and two in the back? You must sanitize the hands before and after slipping a digit. Kind of, sort of almost Nigerian there. Those involved in the libertine party cooperated with the police. I mean, this is a wall-to-wall nightmare of accents, this episode. I mean, it generally is bad, but this is particularly... maybe that first proper cancellation of the year will be me. God, I hope so. In total, 81 people were fined for their participation in the event, while 3 others thought to have been part of the group were taken in for questioning. Last year, a right-wing politician in Hungary has resigned after he was caught in a 20-man lockdown orgy. Woo! Oh boy! Hold on, right-wing politician in Hungary. I would imagine it was probably more the gay side of things than the lockdown side of things that people were wound up about. I would imagine if you're looking at right-wing politicians in Hungary, make our right-wing politicians look like Jeremy Corbyn. Youssef Sejier, a member of the Fidesz party, was reportedly spotted fleeing the party in Brussels on Friday with bloody hands, with police finding drugs in his backpack. Wait, hold on, is this the same thing? Or is this a completely different... I don't know. Well, let's just go with it. In the UK, I thought, okay, well, no, it must be. Joseph Saja, a senior member of the Fidesz party, was reportedly spotted fleeing the party in Brussels on Friday with bloody hands, with police finding drugs in his backpack, in his knapsack. In the UK, authorities have been cracking down on events thought to be in breach of the coronavirus restrictions. Just checking the stream's still going. Last month, police issued over 15 grand's worth of fine to 300 people who attended an illegal rave in London. Acting on intelligence they received about the event, probably from Build, NARC, officers raided the gathering under railway arches in Hackney at around 1:30 a.m, 24th of January. Yeah, it looked like they were having a bloody good time. According to reports, police made numerous attempts to engage with organisers, but they were repeatedly ignored, with the doors being locked from the inside to prevent police from getting in. It's understood that 78 people were issued with fixed penalty notices amounting to £200 each. Listen, man, a £200 ticket to a decent night, I'd give it some strong consideration. Will there be bag there? I would consider. Will there be birds? Sure, I've got a missus, but hey, I don't want a sausage fest. Chief Superintendent Roy Smith, who attended the incident, said, "It looked fucking banging in that light, but sadly we got to shut the bastards down. This was a serious and blatant breach of the public health regulations and the law in relation to unlicensed music events. Sure, they were playing some romper fucking stomping tunes, and it looked like the bag was being passed around freely. Officers were forced, yet again, to put their own health at risk to deal with a large group of incredibly selfish people who were tightly packed together in a confined space, providing an ideal opportunity for this deadly virus to spread. Our frontline officers continue to police the public health crisis with compassion and professionalism, but it is completely unacceptable for them to have to face such needless risks to their own health and to their families." If you could see that there was, perhaps only one entrance or something, could you not just leave everyone in there? Not let anyone else in, and then they'll get bored eventually. They'll want to come out to eat at some point. And then you could just charge them a fine on the way out. So it's free to get in, but you got paid to leave. It could work, I mean, yeah, go back, yeah. I don't know. Listen, look, let's play another little jam and see what we've got. Inai and Bo. Okay, give it a go. It's called DP.
bitch.
Yeah, that's DP by Inai and Bo. Fine. Teen wakes from 11-month coma, unaware of Captain Tom's passing. Unaware of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. No, you would be. Yeah, that's... yeah, you've missed a little bit, haven't you? Missed a bit. You wake up and just be like, did we go to war with Iran? How are those wildfires doing? So they put them out, yeah. Okay, good. Anything else? Anything else happened? Like, yeah, Captain Tom died. Sorry, who? What do you mean? You don't know who Captain Tom is? Oh, sweet merciful Christ! A teenager has woken from an 11-month coma with no knowledge of COVID-19, despite having caught the disease. Yeah, wow, Jesus. Joseph Flavilla, known as Joe, was hit by a car while walking near his home in Tutbury, Staffordshire, on the 1st of March, 2020, 3 weeks before Britain's first national lockdown began. No, he would have known then. Like, it wasn't like... we started to hear, we were starting to hear about it late February, 19-year-old A-level student has since spent 11 months in a coma, oblivious to the monumental impact COVID-19 has had on the planet. Yeah, mercifully he's beginning to show signs of recovery, communicating through blinks and smiles, and moving his limbs on cue. Yeah, hold on. He can't talk. Or, you would expect this story to be, like, a bit of a sort of, not heartwarming, but, like, to have a slight comic nature to it. Like, yeah, man wakes up from a coma. Luckily, he's fine. But I had no idea about the whole Rona stuff. Not like, well, he's woken up. I mean, he can't talk. He's heavily brain damaged, but like he has been in the... Why are we reporting this? I mean, God bless him. God love him. I hope he makes a full recovery. Unfortunately, his family are unable to visit him because of the Rona. God. Yeah, rough, man. Yeah. Not cool. Anyway, probably move on from that. Poundland. Look, Poundland. Guys, Poundland launches Nookie sex toy range ahead of Valentine's Day. Yeah, show your partner you do not care about them in any way, shape or form by buying them a sex toy from the Pound Shop. Poundland has launched a range of budget sex toys ahead of Valentine's Day. The Nookie collection is comprised of plenty to please both him and her, but mainly her. Best of all, everything is just £1. Okay, that was a lie. It cost several pounds. What the fuck? What are we doing here? I appreciate it's been a rough year, but like, what's this, inflation? Oh, well, the coronavirus is a bit hard, and, so, it's £1.10 now. What is this now? Yeah, what? I'm not having this. Look, I appreciate that there's tough things going on in the world, and perhaps it might seem like a strange hill to die on, but I will not have the pound shop charging more than £1 for goods. Hold on, this is Poundland, right? Poundland. Hold on, Poundland. Poundland have been charging more than £1 for things forever. It's a lie. Their whole business is a lie. The name Poundland it assumes that things in there cost £1. But I will tell you now that the Poundland on Western Road charges more than £1, particularly for a Fray Bentos pie. Now, it says something about your life if you're buying your Fray Bentos pies from Poundland. I mean, that is a clear sign that stuff has taken a wrong turn in your life. I'll give you a few other examples of times that you can know that your life has taken a wrong turn. If you ever find yourself writing a manifesto, preparing your manifesto, yeah, your life has taken a bad time. When the news comes out, 15 people dead, he uploaded his manifesto to Reddit hours before committing the atrocity. Sometimes I guess there's the lines between updating your blog and writing your manifesto are a little blurry. But if you write my manifesto at the top and you start, your life's taken a dive. Anyway, people might see this as a strange hill to die on, to be very concerned and to be actively legislating against the Poundland charging more than £1 for any items. But here we are. Yeah, here we are. Here I am using my platform speaking to literally tens of other losers like me to try and push my agenda. The other cause I'm really trying to get behind is raising the limit for drink driving. I think that's going to be my cause for 2021. A lot of people have causes, yeah, whether or not it's foreign aid, kids with cancer, human trafficking, whatever. My cause that I am pushing this year is I am raising money, I am pushing, lobbying, trying to basically, I want the legal limit for alcohol raised. I mean, ideally, I want it removed completely, but because I just think it's our right as individuals. It is a liberty. Our rights, freedoms, and liberties are under attack. Particularly in the area of how much booze I'm allowed to drink before I'm driving my car recklessly around a housing estate. I would like to see it raised. Ideally, I think a nice compromise from the government now would be to double the limit, and we can work towards. I know this is not going to happen overnight, but I think if we all get together, we're going to need petitions. We're going to need canvassing door to door. And this is going to cost money. So please. Put your hand in your pocket for a good cause. Yeah. Can you imagine how unpopular you could make yourself, like at dinner parties and stuff, if you genuinely took that on as a cause? So, what have you been up to recently? Well, I've actually been working very hard on a big project because we'd love to get you involved. Oh, yeah? What is it? We want to remove the drink driving laws. Huh? What? Yeah. And we also, anyone that's in prison for killing people while driving drunk, we want them immediately exonerated. We're working, you could mask it as like prison reform. I mean, you could try and sort of cloud it in wokeness, and it disproportionately affects people of colour, because God knows we know they like to have a drink and drive about a bit. You're like, hold on a second. Well, please, this is wait, what? Yeah, these racist drink driving laws have got to go. Yeah, it's deeply troubling, and we can't in 2021. We cannot stand by and allow this nightmare to continue. Good people who, yeah, sure, had a few drinks and killed someone are now languishing in jails all over the country. They need to be immediately exonerated and compensated by the government that, infringed on their rights and liberties to neck copious amounts of booze and drive wildly over. I would like to remove the speed limits as well. Really want to turn society into a proper dystopian Mad Max sort of nightmare, but with more booze. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to be. 2021. Yeah, that's what I'm fixing for. Mad Max, but a fucking boozy version. Yeah, good. Okay, great. End of the show. I'm glad we've had this conversation. Guys, I guess Jimmy is up next. It's always a gamble, but hey, that's life, isn't it? What are you gonna do? You can't get it sucked 24 hours a day. It'd fall off. Right, I love you all. I'll see you in the Discord. Join the Discord if you're not already there. There is a link in the YouTube video. There's God knows how many links to it on the site and in the app. Download the app. If you want to support on Patreon, it's very decent of you. And I love you all. Listen, let's get these authoritarian, dystopian, Dickensian, draconian drink driving laws scrapped. Thank you and good night.